Meeting is called to order. Public notice of this meeting was properly posted at the South Carolina Board of Funeral Service Office, Synergy Business Park, Kingstree Building, and on the board website, and provided to all requesting persons, organizations, and news media in compliance with Section 30-40-80 of the South Carolina Freedom of Information Act. If we can, let's stand at this time for a Pledge of Allegiance, please. We can take a moment and look over the agenda and hear an approval for
President, I'm in order. I make a motion that we accept today's agenda.
I second.
Dickerson, second by Mr. Watson. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Purpose of the Board of Funeral Service is to protect the public through the regulation of funeral service and cremation licensees. The board also investigates complaints and conducts application disciplinary hearings in accordance with state statutes and regulations. Welcome you this morning. Thank you for being here, and a special welcome to Mr. Edwards, our newest board member today. And by way of President's remarks, thank you, each one of you, for all that you do, even in the gallery that serve our state. Just recently, my family was on the other side of the funeral service with my daughter losing her boyfriend at a young age, and I was able to be with her family and saw a funeral home in the lower part of the state do a wonderful job and minister to that family. But it reminds me to say thank you to every one of us for all the little things that we do. We're here to enforce the law and make sure everything's done legally, but thank you for your passion and for putting your heart into what we do every day. May God bless you. All right, as we move on, the introduction of board members and persons attending the meeting today. My name is Brent Taylor. I'm president of the board.
My name is Douglas Hawkins, and I'm vice president of the board.
Cox.
Lee Calcutt.
Barry Watson.
Herbert Edwards.
Thomas Wright, Beaufort.
T. Rampy.
Tony Backman.
Darrell Dickerson, Goose Creek.
Randy Duncan, Advice Counsel to the Board.
Madeline Meekins, Board Executive.
Alexis Bell, Office of Disciplinary Counsel. Renee Young, Lead Investigator for OIE.
April Howe, Program Manager for Inspections, OIE.
For the record, we have Otis Richardson, Program Coordinator. I'm sorry, Coordinator.
Have the approval of excused absences.
Mr. President, I believe the only member not present today is Ms. Driggers. She has
begun a new job and is waiting some reviews through her chain of command at her new job to ensure that she can continue to participate on the board. And so until that comes back, she won't be able to be with us, and that has not come back as of yesterday. Yes, sir, we would, if the board approves of the absence, we would need a motion and a vote, please.
Mr. President, I make a motion we accept that excused absence.
I second.
Watson, second by Mr. Calcutt. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Of excused absence of the IRC members.
Ms. Young, were there any absences? Absences for the IRC? No, there were none, Mr. President.
Thank you. Moving on to number 8, the approval of the meeting minutes from our August meeting. If we could take a moment.
Mr. President, I make a motion we accept the minutes as has been read.
Second.
For clarity of the record, is your motion as to the minutes from August 27th and August 28th? Thank you, sir.
Motion by Mr. Watson, second by Mr. Dickerson. All in favor? Thank you. Moving on to section 9, our staff reports. Ms. Mickens.
Good morning, Mr. President. Just want to start off with welcoming our new board member, Mr. Herbert A. Edwards of Spartanburg, South Carolina. We also have a new team member, Mr. Cameron Hadley. So now we have a complete team in the funeral cluster upstairs. So just wanted to give you all a report on that. Also, there was in September, Mr. Cox, Mr. Driggers, and myself attended the board member training with the International Conference of Funeral Service Examining Boards that was held in Scottsdale, Arkansas. It was really good to have the a presence from South Carolina there at that at the table for that, and I think it was really good information. In your packet, you have your board report, which gives an overview of the number of licenses that have been issued from 2018 up until now. So just kind of so you can see what's going on and how we are working in the office. Also in your packet is the change of manager report, which gives a running list of the manager changes, name changes, and location changes. On this morning, and I think it's currently still going on right now, South Carolina Department of Consumer Affairs actually presented the first in-person continuing education course here. And as you know, they cover the South Carolina Department of Consumer Affairs. They oversee the pre-need funeral contracts and licenses for the state of South Carolina for those funeral homes that sell pre-need. But just so you know that it actually did happen today, we mentioned that in previous board meetings, and today they actually are here. Ran over a little bit, but it's happening now. And your financial total, your financial report, we have as of September 30th, negative $113,399.93, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Mickens. Moving on to the Office of Inspections report, Ms. Howe, Chief Inspector.
Morning, everybody. The total inspections since last meeting from August 25th to October 13th, 2025 was 80, and the total inspections for the year so far up through October 13th is for 401. Thank you.
Office of Investigations and Enforcement's report, Ms. Young.
The status, excuse me, the status report from January 1 to current, it was a total of 81 cases. Active investigations are 11, closed is 56. And it is a discrepancy in the report that you guys received in the packet. It was a discrepancy against the complaints received. It was actually 81 instead of 65. And we ask you to approve the OIERC.
Any presentation on the IRC report?
Excuse me?
You just mentioned the IRC report. Were there any presentation on that? Or did you put that together?
But we put that together. It's the board report, once it
Yes,
comes
ma'am.
over to you guys.
Okay.
It looks like the recommendation from the IRC is to dismiss one case, send two for formal complaint, and do a letter of caution for two. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
And on the IRC report, case listed 2025-28, license fees credential permanently relinquished. Can you give us some information on that?
Okay.
Mr. President, if we have specific questions about anything on the IRC report, I would ask if we could to briefly go into an executive session so I can give the board a little bit of legal advice.
I make a motion for the board to go into executive session for legal advice. Thank you, sir. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Favor?
President, I make a motion, we go into closed session.
Have a
Second.
motion. Motion by Mr. Wright, second by Mr. Calcutt, and ask our vice counsel if she would explain for the record what closed session is.
Yes, Mr. President. So pursuant to South Carolina Code 40-19-190, investigations and proceedings from investigations related to the funeral board are supposed to remain confidential. So my understanding is that the board does have some questions about some of the things on the IRC report. And so to comply with the requirements of the confidentiality of 40-19-190, moving into closed session means essentially that the YouTube feed ends up getting cut, and anybody who is present at this meeting who is not necessary to answer questions about these investigations for the board are asked to leave the room. So basically, our investigations team stays, our court reporter stays, our Office of Disciplinary Counsel stays in case they need to help answer questions about the investigations. Our board executive and Mr. Richardson stay, but that everybody else is asked to leave the room to maintain that confidentiality.
Motion and second. All those in favor?
I'm sorry, say that again? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
There you go.
Madam Court Reporter, the motion was made by Mr. Backman to come out of closed session, second by Mr. Calcutt. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we are officially out of.
Mr. President, if I'm in order, I'd like to move that with the IRC report, that we accept case number 2025-28, 2025-39, and 2025-49. That we approve that part of the IRC report.
I have a motion by Mr. Hawkins to approve partial of this report. Do I hear a second?
I second it.
Second by Mr. Watson. All those in favor?
Aye.
Bill, are there any questions on that?
No questions for me.
Okay. And if we could, Ms. Bell, before we go to Section 5, the ODC report, we as a board would like to go back to Section 2 with the inspections report. Ms. Howe, is she? Okay. All right.
We have a question between the board, Bruce, the PD Group Funeral Directors Association, about what the inspectors are able to do and not to do to firms that they cite.
So I can answer about the site, and we do not have the ability to cite currently. We cannot cite. We would have to break, the way the process works is that if we find something with the inspection process, we would then file a complaint for further investigation from the investigations unit, and then the investigations unit would then put it through to the IRC, and the IRC would decide, and then you guys would ultimately hear it if it comes that far.
Okay.
Make sense?
If I can build on to what he's saying, we're members of the SCFDA PD Funeral Directors Group, and at a group meeting with 70 funeral directors present, the question was asked when the inspector came by. He was asked for the new law that requires us to have 8 hours continuing education for the cremation as pertains in our new law. If a funeral director, if a funeral home does not have that, what do you do? Are you seeing, fair question, are you seeing people that's not abiding by the new law? What was stated in that group meeting was absolutely nothing can be done. I was there, and of course, the wheels on the bus turned right around on me that LLR, it come back somebody else's fault. So our question is from the board to you, was that answered incorrectly or?
At this point, yes, because we are putting those through to the investigations unit. And I can't elaborate on that right now, but yes, to answer your question, we are putting those through. The form is going to have to be changed. We are in the process of working on that. Can I say that, Brandy? I guess I can now. I've already said it.
Yes, ma'am. I believe we have drafts that we'll be looking at the December meeting to update the inspection forms.
And we're trying to give everybody the opportunity, which I understand. I think as of December of last year, everybody had to get their items in. So we're going through and we're looking at that. We have advised our inspectors, current inspectors in the field, that from moving forward, that these need to be reported as soon as possible. So
That answered my question.
right.
That was, they are being reported.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
And I will,
So at your meeting, it was answered incorrectly at your meeting. When he answered, it was,
You stated that in your response that
that's correct. It should have been addressed a while back, and we apologize. So now that moving forward, we have addressed it, and we are making sure that all crematories have a person that is licensed to operate with us. That is correct.
And it's my understanding, and Ms. Bell, correct me if I'm wrong, but if we had, for example, a crematory that had nobody who was properly trained, when that complaint would be filed by investigations, or excuse me, by inspections, that the investigator could bring that case to ODC
Or TSO.
and ask for a temporary suspension order for the license for that crematory if they literally have nobody who is properly trained. Is that correct?
They can do that. If there's literally nobody trained and they're licensed, we can do a TSO. Obviously, if it's an unlicensed crematory and our inspectors walk in to look at the funeral home and they're like, what's that? That would be a cease and desist. But if they are licensed, but they have nobody there who is credentialed properly to run that crematory, then it would be a TSO until such time they get licensed, and then we would have a hearing about it. And then if they have that part, but they're not doing other aspects that are set out in regulations, there is the statute that allows for discipline if you're not following previously set out statutes and regulations that are connected to funeral services, which that would be connected to funeral services.
And it's my understanding, and board members, please correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is that one of the changes that was actually done in the law not too long ago allowed for fines of up to $25,000 per violation, definitely related to anything under the Safe Cremation Act, which would include having people properly licensed to run these crematories. So, that's a pretty significant potential penalty if anybody's running one without somebody who's properly trained.
Correct. And from protecting the public, our first line of defense is the inspectors of this state. Am I correct in that?
Correct?
So they have the full and binding authority to bring a TSO or however they
And
see
they would,
deemed
they
necessary.
would do a complaint so that we can
Correct.
get it going through the correct process, since they don't have citation authority. But yes, if they spot something, they can draft information and get a complaint started so that our investigators can confirm and either get me a TSO or just start the formal complaint process, or do the review if they're already licensed, they have the correct people certified, and it's just something else happening. But the inspectors are the first eyes, and if they see something, they're able to file a complaint so that we can proceed with the next step.
Thank y'all both. I wanted that on public record. Thank you.
Yes.
We'll order of process here. Number 5, Office of Disciplinary Counsel. Ms. Bell.
Thank you. And this is for information purposes only. We currently have 23 open files. We've closed 3 files since the last board date, and have closed 21 files total for the year of 2025.
Have any questions for Ms. Bell? Thank you, Ms. Bell. We'll move on to the application hearings of funeral establishments. And for some reason, I have to recuse myself on this first one.
I wonder why. Are we ready? This hearing is called to order. This is the matter of MRC Crematory in Chesterfield. The purpose of this hearing is to determine if the board will approve the new facility with William Taylor as manager of record. Does any board member other than President Taylor have a reason to recuse him or herself from this matter? Everyone is reminded that these procedures are being recorded and that all witnesses must be sworn in before they testify. All remarks should be directed to me, the Vice President. Is there anyone speaking on behalf of the funeral home? Please give your full name for the record and your relationship to this matter.
William Brent Taylor, manager and owner of Miller Rivers Calder.
Madam Court Reporter, please swear in the witness.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm under penalty of perjury to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you, sir.
Ms. Mickens, is the complete application package in our materials?
Yes, sir, it is.
Ms. Mickens, please make certain the court reporter and MRC Crematory have a copy of the application hearing materials included in the board's packet to be marked as States Exhibit 1.
They have their packets.
What questions did staff have concerning this application?
Staff doesn't have any questions. We just need a disposition on this application.
Mr. Taylor, are you represented by counsel? You understand that you have the right to be represented by counsel of your own choosing in this matter? You are electing to waive that right and represent yourself instead, correct?
Mr. Taylor, could you pull that microphone a little closer to your mouth? It's not picking up.
Do you have any witnesses that you would like to speak?
No, sir.
Do you have any additional relevant evidence that you want us to consider?
No, sir. I think everything's in the application here. I appreciate your consideration.
Are there any questions from the board? Well, thank you.
I have a question too.
Okay.
Close to having the crematory ready to go?
They're estimating end of the year, which I'm assuming that would probably be February, March before it's delivered. That's the ETA that for the retort.
Speaking to Mike.
Section, you're looking at maybe March?
I have been told by the end of the year, but, from every sitting this desk for crematory, it's usually 2 months later, but hopefully by the middle of January would be my hope, but yes, sir.
Anyone else?
Vice President, I make a motion that we accept his application for a crematory upon the final inspection, once he gets that crematory established at his facility and get the EPA. Have to get through all that EPA inspections and stuff like that, through all the regulations and all are in place.
Second.
For clarification of the record, I'm understanding your motion to mean that it's a motion to approve pending the final inspections. Thank you, sir.
All in favor of the motion, would you signify by saying aye?
Aye.
Opposers have the same option? The ayes have it. Congratulations, Mr. Taylor. You are approved. Board staff will be in touch with you about the next step.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President, and now that I'm deeper in debt, we'll move on to new facility number 2, the Gilmore Funeral Home of Rock Hill. This hearing is called to order. This is the matter of Gilmore Funeral Home, LLC. The purpose of this hearing is to determine if the board will approve the new facility with Henry Gilmore as manager of record. Does any board member have a reason to recuse him or herself from this matter? Hearing none, everyone is reminded these proceedings are being recorded, and all witnesses must be sworn in before they testify. All remarks should be directed to the president. Is there anyone speaking on behalf of the funeral home?
I am Henry Gilmore.
And your relationship to this matter, please?
I'm the owner, manager.
Madam Court Reporter, will you swear in the witness, please, ma'am?
Raise your right hand for me, please. Thank you, sir. Do you solemnly swear or affirm under penalty of perjury to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you.
Ms. Mickens, is the complete application in our materials?
Yes, sir, it is.
Made certain that the court reporter and Gilmore Funeral Home have a copy of the application hearing materials in the board's packet marked as State's Exhibits 1.
Yes, sir, they have the packet.
What questions does staff have concerning this application?
Staff doesn't have any questions regarding this application. We just need a board disposition.
Jim, are you represented by counsel?
No, sir.
Okay. You understand you have the right to be represented by the counsel of your own choosing in this matter?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but you are electing to waive that right and represent yourself, correct?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay. Also, for the record, it's my understanding that you consented to have this hearing today despite not receiving the 30 days notice of hearing. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Do you have any witnesses that you'd like to speak on your behalf?
I'm by myself.
Okay. Any additional relevant material you'd like for us to consider?
No, sir.
Board members, do you have any questions regarding this application?
Gilmore, how close are you having your funeral home ready and to be in?
Right now, they're telling me by the end of the year, but I'm going to give them a little more time. But they're saying around the end of the year. I'm predicting around January, February. You know.
This year going to be your only facility?
Yes, yes. You know, I had owned Gilmore Mortuary from 2010 to 18 in Rock Hill. Then we moved to Charlotte and owned Gilmore Mortuary in Charlotte. And we changed the name to Gilmore Funeral Home, so we sold it last year. And we waiting for this new facility in Rock Hill to open up, and then we come into Rock Hill. But that'll be the only one, that's correct.
Mr. Gilmore, you're going to be the manager of the facility, right? You'll be the manager, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. You understand that you are totally responsible for everything that happens at Gilmore Funeral Home if you're approved?
Of course.
Everything?
Everything.
Everything?
And then some.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Gilmore, will y'all sell pre-need?
Yeah, well, the first time we didn't sell it, but this time we're going to sell pre-need. I believe we are, yeah. We're going to apply for that license. Yep.
And are you licensed? You said you owned a funeral home in Charlotte at one time. Are you licensed in both states?
I'm licensed in both states, that's
Okay.
correct.
Mr. Gilmore, how far do you live from the funeral home, from the proposed funeral home?
I would say maybe 15, 17 miles. Yep.
Board members have any other questions or?
If I'm in order, Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve Mr. Gilmore's application upon final inspection.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Dickerson, a second by Mr. Wright. All those in favor? Congratulations, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Board
sir.
staff will be in touch with you in the following few days about the next steps there.
All right. All right, thank you.
For our next hearing, we're going to take a 10-minute fresh air convenience break.
So move.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
We continue under additional facilities. This is Demery and Rogers Funeral Home of Lake City. Hearing is called to order. This is the matter of Demery and Rogers Funeral Home LLC, Lake City. The purpose of this hearing is to determine if the board will approve the additional facility with Mr. Alvin Demery as proposed manager of record. Does any board member have reason to recuse him or herself from this matter?
I do, Mr. President.
For the record, we already have recusal forms filled out for both Mr. Calcutt and Mr. Hawkins, which I've provided to the court reporter.
With that, we still have a quorum present. We'll continue. Everyone is reminded that these proceedings are being recorded and that all witnesses must be sworn in before they testify. All remarks should be directed to the president. Is there anyone speaking on behalf of this facility?
I am.
You'll state your name and relationship, please, for the record.
Alvin Demery, Director and Manager.
Madam Court Reporter, will you swear in the witness, please?
Raise your right hand. Thank you, sir. Do you solemnly swear or affirm under penalty of perjury to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Mickens, is the complete package, application package in our materials?
Yes, sir, it is.
We made certain that the court reporter and Demery and Rogers Funeral Home have a copy of the application here and it's included in the board's packet to be marked as State's Exhibit 1.
They have their packets.
What questions does staff have concerning this application?
Staff doesn't have any questions regarding the application. However, just staff was made aware that there was an advertisement of this facility prior to the hearing on today. So I just want to make sure you guys are aware of that.
Demery, are you represented by counsel?
I'm not.
Okay. You understand you have the right to choose a counselor of your choice, and you're waiving that right?
I am.
Okay. Did you receive the notice of this hearing that was sent out?
Yes.
It's also my understanding that you consented to have this hearing today despite not receiving the 30 days notice of hearing. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Have any witnesses you'd like to speak, or
I have none.
are there any other evidence or information you'd like to present before the board?
None.
Board members, do you have any questions for Mr. Demery?
Demery, good morning. How are you doing, sir?
Just fine. How are you?
We just made aware by Ms. Mickens that an advertisement was placed to the public, but the board did not, you haven't addressed the board for approval. Even in the room earlier, our president came before the board to be approved for crematory before it is done. Therefore, that should have been the same procedure you should follow for Demery and Rogers Funeral Home for an advertisement to be placed on social media or for the public. So why come to the board prior of the advertisement? That's the question.
Well, some of the folks that had previously worked for the other firm, they're the ones that actually put it on Facebook. I didn't give them any directive to do so, but they took it upon themselves to go ahead and put out advertisements about it because they were excited about us coming to Lake City. But I advised them that they shouldn't do it until after we come to see the board. And
It is a direct violation.
we had to take them down.
Yeah, that's direct violation to the state board.
You understand, sir, as manager, that is your responsibility.
Mr. Demery, did you say that it was all taken down? Was there an interview with a TV station in the last couple of days saying that y'all were going to have a grand opening this Saturday?
There was a direct interview with that person at our facility, but I had no idea they were going to put it on television. They would do advertising. They were talking about it at our facility, but it was later put on television. I didn't have any knowledge of that until after it came out.
That was just yesterday, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm a,
Have you got a grand opening scheduled for Saturday?
Well, yes, sir, I do. But that was just for the local folks. That wasn't a advertisement for general public, just for some of the local people in the area.
I have a question. Investigation,
Not as of yet.
President, I'll make a motion, we go into executive session.
I have a motion by Mr. Wright. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor, second by Mr. Watson. All those in favor? Aye. Are in executive session. Thank you.
Mr. President, I make a motion, we come out of executive session.
Motion, Mr. Wright, second. Watson, all in favor? Okay. Dimmer, do you have any other additional evidence or relevant evidence you'd like for us to consider?
None, sir. None. I have none.
I hear a motion as regards to disposition of this matter.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we at this time deny this application, and I'm going to refer to our legal counsel to be able to express the denial in the motion and explain it to Mr. Demery why was the denial.
Mr. Watson, my understanding of the motion for denial and the reasons therefore are because advertising prior to opening a funeral home, or excuse me, prior to being authorized by this board to be licensed as a funeral home, violates several statutes, including 40-19270 subsection E, 40-19-110 subsection 2, 40-19-30, 40-19-130, 40-1920 subsection 1. It's my understanding that the board would also like, as part of this motion, for Ms. Mickens to be directed to go ahead and file a complaint regarding the advertisements that she was notified about in the last couple of days, so that those can be investigated and handled as may be appropriate based on the outcome of that investigation. That Mr. Demery and Demery and Rogers Funeral Home, LLC, Lake City, immediately cease and desist all activities at the opening of this new location, including not having the open house that they had been advertising for this coming weekend, and that the board would like for this matter not to come before them again as an application until the investigation regarding the pre-advertising is concluded and dealt with. And finally, that although there is a statute under 40-19295 that says licensees who have had a license denied by the board cannot practice cannot engage in funeral practice, that the board's decision today is limited only to this location in Lake City, that it would not impact Mr. Demery's main location or his activities there. Have I stated your motion correctly, sir?
Legal counsel, that's correct.
Thank you.
I have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Watson, second by Mr. Rampey. All those in favor? Okay. The decision we announced today expresses only the basic elements of our ruling in this case. Counsel for the board will prepare a document which more fully expresses our conclusions in the appropriate language and format which this board has traditionally used. The final written decision must be approved and signed by the board president, will be the final order in this matter. If you wish to appeal this order, you must appeal to the Administrative Law Court within 30 days of receipt of this order. This concludes this hearing. The second additional facility regarding Dignity Mortuary and Cremation Services of Orangeburg. This hearing is called to order. This is the matter of Dignity Mortuary and Cremation Services of Orangeburg. The purpose of this hearing board members come to join us here.
Okay.
The purpose of this hearing is to determine if the board will approve the additional facility with LaShawn Landy as the proposed manager of record. Does any board member have a reason to recuse him or herself of this matter? Everyone is reminded these proceedings are being recorded, and that all witnesses must be sworn in before they testify. All remarks should be directed to the president. Is there anyone speaking on behalf of the facility?
I am.
Would please state your full name and your relationship for the record, please?
LaShawn Landy, manager.
Montez Haynes, funeral director.
Madam Court Reporter, will you swear in the witnesses, please?
Sir, Mr. Haynes, would you spell for me your first name
Montez
and your last name?
Hynes.
Thank you. You would each raise your right hands for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm under penalty of perjury to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you both.
Ms. Mickens, is the complete application package in our materials?
Yes, sir, it is.
Made certain that the court reporter and Dignity Mortuary and Cremation Service of Orangeburg has a copy of the application hearing that's included in the board's packet to be marked as Exhibit State 1.
Yes, sir, they have their packets.
What questions does staff have concerning this application?
Staff doesn't have any questions. We need a disposition regarding this application.
Represented by counsel today?
No, sir.
Okay. You understand that you have the right to be represented by counsel of your own choosing, but you've elected to waive that right and represent yourself. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Also, did you receive the notice of hearing that was sent out in regards to this hearing?
Yes.
Also, my understanding that you have consented to have this hearing today despite not receiving the 30 days notice of hearing. Is that correct?
That's correct.
For the record, thank you. Do you have any witnesses that you'd like to speak on your behalf?
No.
Do you have any other information you'd like to present to the board before we hear your case?
No, sir.
Board members, do you have any questions for Mr. Landy?
On the original application, I see where it says facility type. Brand new funeral home, or is this a branch, or, because it's not neither one checked? And
No, sir. This is just be a facility where we will, of course, meet with families and lay out the decedent at this facility.
And Mr. Watson, that would be an oversight on our behalf. I'm sorry.
Excuse me, sir, where's your main location?
It's in Sally, South Carolina.
you just go use the facility just to conduct a few, or meet with a family, keep them from driving to Sally? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, sir.
Go the manager or both, go be the manager of both?
Yes, sir.
How far do you live from the,
I'm not sure of the amount of mileage, but I've looked it up, and I know that I meet the criteria of being, the right distance.
not over 75 miles?
Correct.
Lastly, sir, I see on your hours, you're open every day from 8 to 5, except for Sunday, and you have from 8 to 8.
From 8 to 8 p.m.?
Application said you're open Sunday from 8 to 8.
That's just, we're on call from that time on Sundays as needed, like physically.
So it'll be a ranch funeral home?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Watson, in response to your question about the mileage, Mr. Landy lives in Columbia, I believe, and this branch location will be in Orangeburg. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Is this facility already ready to be used?
Just about.
When do you anticipate opening?
Approximately, if everything goes well, probably about by the end of this month, first of next month.
What's the name of your, or the parent facility that, your current funeral home?
Dignity Mortuary and Cremation Services.
How many miles are you from the location?
The approximately about the same mileage. I'm just being honest. My partner said about 47, but I'm not sure. I didn't put it in GPS.
I'm happy to pull the mileage for you all, if you all give me just a second. $60 miles from his home to the location in Orangeburg.
On your application, you've got facility name Dignity Mortuary and Cremation Services. Are you going to list that as a Orangeburg Chapel and a Sally Chapel? Is that correct?
Yes, sir. So what happened was the reason why, of course, we didn't have anything checked on there was because we just was trying to get clarifications on, branch or chapel.
So you are applying for a branch facility, correct? Okay, all right.
Mr. President, the mileage from the other location, from Dignity to his home, is 58 miles.
Out to Sally?
Yeah.
Madam Court Reporter, while the members are looking over the application packet and determining if they have any other questions, just for clarification on the record, can we swear Ms. Mickens in and have her reaffirm that the information she's provided today has been given as if under oath?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm under penalty of perjury to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Ms. Mickens, just affirm on the record that the information you have provided to the board in response to their questions has been given as if you were under oath the entire time?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Questions from the board in this matter? Hearing no other questions, do I have a motion disposition of this matter? Motion to go into executive session to seek legal advice.
I'll make a motion, we go into legal, go into.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Watson, second by Mr. Hawkins. All those in favor? There a motion to come out of executive session?
I make such a motion.
Second. All those in favor?
Second that motion.
Mr. Wright did. Mr. Landy, just for clarification for the board, our understanding is that the proposed name for this location, although it's not written on the paperwork, the proposed name for this location, this branch office location, would be Dignity Mortuary and Cremation Services, Orangeburg Chapel, or Orangeburg Branch, or
Orangeburg Branch.
it would be which?
Branch.
Branch, okay, so it would be Orangeburg Branch. Okay, if your application is approved today, could you get with Ms. Mickens as soon as possible after the meeting today to just update that one part of page 1 of your application so that it's clear that that's what the name is that you were applying for?
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Let the record show there were no votes taken during executive session. Is there a motion in the disposition of the application of this matter?
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion that we accept this application with the provisions of, number one, that he does get with Mally and specify what he really is going to be the name. Is this going to be a branch or chapel with Miss Mally, and get that approved, get that first page of the application, and also upon final inspection, make sure that operation.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Watson, second by Mr. Dickerson. All those in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations. Approved by the board. Board staff will be in touch with you regarding the next steps.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Board members, it's my understanding that lunch has arrived. However, Mr. Deese has a funeral scheduled at 3 p.m. this afternoon in Aiken. So unless there's serious objection, we'd like to go ahead and go forward with the last application hearing to make sure we can get him back for that service.
Hearing is called to order. This is the matter of Milton Shealy Funeral Home, Aiken. The purpose of this hearing is to determine if the board will approve the additional facility with Jerry Dees as proposed manager of record. Does any board member have a reason to recuse himself from this matter? Everyone is reminded these proceedings are being recorded and that all witnesses must be sworn in before they testify. All remarks should be directed to the president. You're speaking on behalf of the facility.
Yes, sir, I am.
Give your full name and relationship in this matter, please.
Gary Clifton Dees, owner and manager.
Court reporter, will you swear in the witness, please?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm under penalty of perjury to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Is the complete application in our package today for materials?
Yes, sir, it is.
Made certain that the court reporter and Mr. Dees, Milton Shealy Funeral Home, has a copy of the application hearing.
Yes, sir, they have their packets.
Part of State's Exhibit 1. Okay. Did staff have any questions in regard to this application?
Staff doesn't